Hi and welcome to Up to Speed, the weekly news show keeping you up to date with the latest equipment news in the video production industry. Just like the last few weeks, we're going to start with talking about Samyang, because their summer blockbuster campaign just keeps bringing us new lenses to talk about. And this week we've been introduced to a full frame 20mm f1.8 manual stills lens and its t1.9 video counterpart. These fit into Samyang's normal line of manual lenses and offer full frame coverage as well as an impressive close focus distance of 0.2 meters. These aren't really groundbreaking new lenses from Samyang, but a very nice addition to their lineup all the same. The big news, however, this week comes from Sony. Back at NAB, they announced a replacement for their R5 recorder, the R7, and mentioned it would come with some compressed RAW options. Well, now we have some more concrete information. The actual recorder itself is a definite upgrade from the R5, giving double the frame rate in 4K RAW. The R5 was already pretty impressive, recording 60 frames a second, but the R7 ups that to 120 frames a second in 4K RAW and 240 frames a second in 2K RAW. That's impressive, but the bit that impresses me most is the new compressed RAW format called X-OCN. This is a new format for Sony which a lot of people are comparing to Red's famous Redcode R3D format, which is perhaps the company's biggest strength. Uncompressed RAW can be very impractical to work with as it simply takes up so much space on your media, and considering that the media has to be very fast to cope with all that data rate, filming in uncompressed RAW gets very expensive very quickly. What makes Red's R3D format so powerful is that it keeps everything that's great about RAW but shrinks the file size in various compression ratios, so you can choose how much compression is applied to your footage on a job-by-job basis. This means that everyone shooting with Red cameras actually uses that RAW, and it works well for them. Compare this to Blackmagic's use of Cinema DNG RAW, for example, and it's a completely different story. Blackmagic give you the option to shoot either RAW or ProRes, which is great, but people rarely choose the RAW even though it's so much better, just because it's so difficult to work with. Sony's new X-OCN format lets you choose between standard and light versions of the codec, and they've released the data rates which you can see here. It looks like the light version comes in at about a third of the data rate of uncompressed RAW. It's going to be really interesting to see if there's any sacrifice in image quality for this. I mean, there's bound to be some, but if it's minimal, then we could see this being used quite a bit on productions. Also worth pointing out on this chart is that all the RAW options give you 16-bit color space, as opposed to 10-bit when you're shooting in XAVC. This will be one of the main reasons that people are interested in this new X-OCN codec. Now at the moment, X-OCN is only available on the new R7 recorder, which is only compatible with Sony's f5 and f55 cameras, with some of the features like 120 frames a second RAW only being an option for the f55. That's great for owners of the f5 and the f55, but what about the rest of us? For example, both the FS7 and FS5 can now output RAW through their SDI ports. Well, I'm hoping that the X-OCN is going to become more widely used throughout Sony's lineup, rather than just on their top-of-the-line cameras. I mean, I doubt you'll see it being added to any of their current cameras internally, but it is possible that they might bring out a more basic version of the R7 recorder, designed for the FS7 and the FS5, which could let you use X-OCN to record your RAW video. If they get that right, that could really shake up the industry. It's all speculation at the moment, of course, but I, for one, would love to see that. Deal of the week here at ProAV is a free lens cloth and cleaning kit with every Canon lens you buy. You can never have enough lens cleaning tools. It's always well worth having at least one on you at all times, even if it is just a simple lens cloth. That's it for the news this week. I'm afraid there won't be an episode next week as I'm taking some much needed time off to go and enjoy the sunshine. So Up to Speed will return on Friday the 26th, and I'll be covering any new news that cropped up between now and then in that episode. So what do you think of Sony's new RAW format? Are you as keen to see it on the FS7 and FS5 as I am? Let me know in the comments section, and make sure to like and subscribe to show your support. It really does help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.